G'day folks, it's Sean here from Air Photography. Today we're going to be talking about the DJI Action 2. This is a long-term review. It's been out for about 6 months now, and I like to follow up with these types of gadgets, especially the Action 2 because there was a lot of negativity surrounding it upon release. Now the negativity wasn't so much that it's a bad camera, it's actually quite a good camera. It's mainly to do with its limitations. If you're a person who's looking for a full-fledged action camera, there are better options on the market. However, don't discount this camera quite yet. This has quickly become one of my most used cameras other than my iPhone. It's actually a very versatile and capable camera. Now if we just kind of circle back to my original review, I pretty well stand by everything I said in that video. The only difference is that I now see the value in this camera. Some of the points I made in my initial review were that I don't really think this is a full-fledged action camera anymore. People who need a dedicated action camera will find some of the limitations a little frustrating, and some of those limitations include the camera module doesn't have a memory card or a removable memory card. It only has internal memory. That internal memory is only 32 gigabytes and that can fill up fairly quickly. In addition, it doesn't have a removable battery. So if the internal memory fills up or the battery is depleted, you're done filming until you can get it charged up and dump the content. And that's where some people might find this camera a little limiting. On top of that, the camera does overheat a little bit quicker than a GoPro. DJI was well aware of that issue and they ended up releasing this thermal case. This case or housing or whatever you want to call it does two things. It can offer a little bit of protection for your camera, but it's supposed to allow you to record a little longer without the camera overheating. Now in my testing, I found that to be true, but it was kind of minimal. It only really allowed me to record for a few more minutes. But the nice thing is DJI is offering this accessory for free. If you purchased your Osmo Action directly from DJI or even from a third party, you can log into your DJI account, get a coupon, and have this shipped to you. And as far as I'm aware, going forward, anytime you buy a new camera, you're going to get one of these automatically included. Another limiting factor is it does not have a removable lens cover. We've seen GoPro do that with the Hero 8 Black, and you would have thought DJI would have taken note of that from all the backlash that GoPro received, but they opted to have that front cover non-replaceable. And as an action camera, these things can get knocked around a little bit and take some abuse, so that is something you do have to be aware of. And the last limiting factor is the camera module is completely waterproof. However, as soon as you attach it to the base, either the dual screen mod or the battery module, the camera will remain waterproof. However, these add-on bases are not waterproof. If you get it wet, it could be damaged. In order to have the whole system waterproof, you do have to purchase a waterproof housing. DJI has offered one on its website. It was launched alongside the Action 2. However, 6 months later, it's still not available for purchase, so that is definitely disappointing. There are some third-party vendors on Amazon that have released some waterproof housings, but you do have to be careful with some of those knockoffs, as we have seen in the past where they can leak. So that's why I say this is not really a true action camera anymore. There's just too many limiting factors that will frustrate people. However, it is still a great little camera, and I think DJI should have marketed it a little bit differently. I think that would have alleviated some of the negativity around it. They should have marketed this as a point of view and wearable camera. On top of that, they should probably not have even called it the Action 2, because when it comes to the original Osmo Action, people wanted something similar to it, just better. Better resolutions, better stabilization. The original Osmo Action, but just better. To me, this could have been launched as a brand new camera category, a point of view camera similar to that of the Insta360 Go 2, and in that aspect it's actually far superior than the Go 2. Although it is a little bit bigger and a little bit heavier, this camera is way more capable. You can film in 4K 60, you have all the benefits of a traditional action camera, and of course you can attach the battery base and expand its capabilities. And in fact, I think what they should have done is release it just as the camera module. They could have marketed this like a session style camera, sell it for $200, and I think it would have been a great success. Because if you're a content creator, perhaps you're going to be using it for hiking or vlogging, sometimes you want just a small mountable camera, something you can wear around your neck, wear on a hat or a headband. It's actually the perfect camera for those situations. Now, as mentioned, I really like this camera. I've been using it quite a bit. As mentioned, it's probably become one of my most used cameras. I liked it so much I ended up going out and buying a second one. And a couple of the reasons why I like it so much and why it works so well for me is that the ecosystem for it is quite nice. The accessories just work well. If you just want some extra power, you can use a battery base. If you're going to do some vlogging or you just want that extra screen to help you frame a shot, you can pick up the dual screen mod and switch them out easily. But what I really like about this camera is when I'm filming B-roll for my YouTube channel or other projects that I work on, I can easily attach it to the head strap. This thing is so comfortable to wear, and if you've ever worn a GoPro on a head strap or on top of a hat, you know it's not very comfortable to wear. It's really top heavy and just can be kind of irritating. This thing is super comfortable. It's really light. You don't even barely know you're wearing it. If you want to change your perspective and just get a couple handheld shots, it's easy to do so. You don't have to mess around with thumb screws. And then of course, if you do want to get some chest mounted style shots, you can easily attach it to the pendant. So in that aspect, it is super convenient. The other thing I really like about it is that the Action 2 has really good audio. In fact, I think it's the best audio on any action camera that I've ever used. Even when using just the camera module, it only has one microphone, but as long as it's not a windy day, the audio is actually really good. Of course, you can add one of the bases, that gives you a few extra microphones, and you have a little bit better wind noise protection. However, if you want really pristine audio, you can plug a USB microphone directly into the side of the Action 2. You don't need any adapters, you just plug it in and away you go. It's even compatible with the new DJI microphone system. You can just plug it in and have yourself a nice wireless microphone setup. I haven't been able to test that out yet because the DJI microphone system just is not available in Canada as of yet. I will be ordering it in once I can, and I'll be doing a review on it as well. And lastly, another thing I like about this camera is its nice wide field of view. Even when you have this camera fully stabilized, it has a nice wide field of view of 150 degrees. With some recent firmware updates, they've updated some of the stabilization modes, so you can either have 360 degree horizon leveling in 2.7K, or if you just need 45 degree horizon leveling, you can still film at 4K and still have a nice wide field of view. Unlike a GoPro, you don't have to purchase any additional hardware. It just works, and the video quality is actually quite good. Now, I would have to say the video quality is not quite as good as the Hero 10 Black, but it's pretty close. Now, again, this is not going to be for everybody. Just those limitations can really be hampering to some people. But for myself, when I'm recording B-roll or I'm just capturing some point of view clips, I don't need to record for a long period of time. It's one thing that I've learned over the years is to keep the clips short. Even when we're on holidays or a beach vacation, I tend not to grab hours worth of footage because that footage ends up on a hard drive and you never look at it again. It's better to come home with 30 or 40 1-minute clips, stuff you enjoy watching and that you can easily edit into one little edit. So in that aspect, a camera like this is perfect. There's plenty of battery power when using it just as a point of view camera, and that internal storage usually will suffice. Now on top of that, if you're a person who likes to vlog, this is actually the ultimate vlogging camera. You can use that dual screen mod to help you frame your shots. DJI sells this extension remote handle, and it's just enough to give you a bit of an extension if you need it. Has a little tiny remote built into it, and it also has a tripod, so if you want to set it down and do some filming with it on a desk or a table, or perhaps capture a quick time lapse, you can do so all with this one handle. And again, for vlogging, you can attach the DJI wireless microphone or any USB-C type microphone. And now you've got nice pristine audio as well. So really, to me, this is a versatile camera. It's actually been a game changer for the way I film content. It's just a great design. That magnetic system is brilliant. Being able to switch from mount to mount easily is something that I really like. And it's actually something that I wish GoPro would adopt as well. There's a lot of third-party accessories to help expand the capability. Like this little device here from SmallRig. It works the same as DJI's stock magnetic mounts, except the finger mounts fold in, and that reveals a 1/4-20 at the bottom. But the best part of it, when you attach it to the camera module, at the back here you now have a USB-C port, so you can charge the module up independently. You don't have to attach it to one of the bases. So yeah, folks, that is my 6-month long-term review of the DJI Action 2. I am not a sponsored channel. I purchased these myself. These are all my own thoughts. I'm not under contract, and I'm not obligated to say anything. It's just been my user experience after using these for the last 6 months. Now, I'm curious, if you own the DJI Action 2, what has your user experience been? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Let me know down in the comments below. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and got some value out of it. Give it a thumbs up if you did. It's always greatly appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. And we'll see you in the next one.